Greetings. Today is the 7th of May, and I just wanted to do a brief introduction to a session that I did yesterday with a friend of mine. I just wanted to look into the current energies, and also I was just wondering about the ascension process as well. And I was just given some really nice guidance about the energies at the moment being quite intense, and sort of the fact that we're journeying through this quite difficult time energetically. And I was given like an example of how it is that we're traveling through this tricky time, and how it is that we're coming up to 2025, the energies are going to be a lot lighter. So I just wanted to share that as an introduction, and I hope you enjoy the details that came through in this session. I found it really helpful, and so I'm hoping that other people will too. Okay, lots of love to everybody, and I'll let you enjoy the recording. Okay, bye.
It feels like a sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting that I was quite a small, I felt like almost like a bit childlike. But like I was all white all over. It's like white light energy.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like a small person, almost like Alice in Wonderland sort of energy, but all white. Felt like I could almost float along, and the grass and the flowers were already tall. It seemed very bright. On this other side of this door was like blue door. It seemed like there was a blue energy through here, but as I come through, it feels like there's a very strong blue energy, but the sky is very blue. It feels like a sunny day. So it feels like plants, and it feels like I'm happy and laughing. So it's almost like I can travel through the plants. Like I'm almost a little bit like flying, but floating a bit.
Do you feel like you have a body?
Yeah, but it looks like it's all made of light. So I do feel like I have a body, but it feels like it's made of light, a light body. Sort of feels like a real body, but also a light body at the same time. So it's got like a human form to it.
Yes.
But it's like I can move really quickly.
Are there any other beings like you around you?
Yeah.
I say a lot, a few.
Feels like I can do like forward rolls, but sort of through the grass, but it's almost like I'm doing it in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And not sort of don't need to touch the ground. It's like you can sort of fly about.
Do you recognize who you are, what you are?
I feel like a lady, but a small lady, small person, just like my hair's light energy, body's light energy, like sort of white. I don't know if I feel like elemental, almost a bit like a fairy, but not a fairy, just made of white light.
What is happening in the scene around you?
I think I've just arrived. Maybe this is like a transition for new earth sort of energy, but there doesn't seem to be anybody here.
There doesn't seem to be anybody, you said?
I can't see anybody. I'm just looking all around. I just sort of get the sense of the long grass and the flowers and the sun and the streams and it's just like a nice, bright, sunny, warm day. Nice, lots of nature and things like that around me, and just freedom to move about quickly or slowly, just to lay, just to be here in this peaceful place. It's just very warm and lovely and sunny and nice and bright. It just feels quite lovely. Just you can just rest and just be, just resting, just sort of laying in the grass or floating above the grass, just relaxing.
Good. Enjoy this feeling. Allow yourself to expand in this feeling.
So there are other beings, but it feels like everyone's very light in that energy. So it's like they're there, but there's no huge need to talk or communicate about anything. It's like that we're all just experiencing this new lightness simultaneously, side by side. So we're all sort of more absorbed in that, sort of just within the experience of that, rather than feeling the need to sort of rush together and to communicate. We're all just sort of side by side experiencing that lightness and that lightness of being, and just being a bit mesmerized by that sensation of just being. So it's like we don't necessarily need to exchange sort of words or talk to each other. We're just sort of there side by side, but knowing that everyone else is feeling that too, seeing you're free, just to be, just the freedom that we've been waiting for. So it's like that's where we ultimately will be going to.
Is this the 5D? The Earth as 5D, or is this life between life?
It feels like the 5D. It feels like that's the 5D. It's the lightness, the not having to walk anymore. They're sort of floating. It's the ability to move without bodies, just to project yourself around, sort of thing. You just, the lightness of the light body, the ability to float and just to travel like very quickly, just to go shoom, and suddenly you're there, just moving about very easily, or just resting and just kind of almost floating, sinking into the plants, just being supported by them, but just not making any dents on them or damaging them, just being held by them and being warm and just being relaxed, but not necessarily feeling heavy within that, just feeling very light. The sun feels very warm. I'm just wondering if there's two suns. So there are, but it's just a lot of brightness, so it's quite hard to focus on specifically. I can't really see them very clearly. I can't see anything. I can't see it. I can just feel the warmth from it. It feels like it's always been there waiting, just expanded into this. So expanded out and grew energetically, just got brighter and brighter and brighter. And created this nice warm place for everyone to be.
Are you ready to close this scene?
Yeah.
3, traveling through time. 2, almost there. And 1, be there now.
And I'm seeing like a being that I saw at the beginning when I was sort of, when you were doing the relaxation, it's like a bird being. So it's almost like around its face is like a circle of feathers coming out. It's like got a beak, but it's a humanoid with a beak. But the feathers are making like almost like a shield sort of around its a ruff, almost like a circle behind its face. So coming out feels like the Egyptian-y sort of people that have got the spears in their hand, the staff, those ones. It feels like one of those Ra type bird beings from that time.
Is that you?
I don't think it's me. It feels like somebody that I know. It feels like a masculine energy that's just coming over to greet or just to have with a message. It's like they have a message.
Let's connect to him.
Feels like it's my friend Daniel. Feels like it's Daniel. Feels like Daniel's energy. Just, she says, it feels like he's the Ra, part of the Ra collective.
What does he want to tell us today?
He's just come to say, just remembering our connection. So I'm not sure who I am in this time and space. Who am I? I feel like I'm a bird being as well there. I feel like more of a feminine energy, like almost maybe even like more of a human Cleopatra type looking person, a female person rather than a bird type being.
Can you see your feet?
Yeah, I feel like I've got normal feet, like brown skin, black hair, like young, quite beautiful. Just feel like that Cleopatra energy, very black, sleek hair. Yeah, so quite neat. Clothes. Feels like quite, yeah, I feel young. Feels like almost military uniform type thing in a way.
What you doing in this scene?
We were in a time and a place where we were getting ready for a battle, so it's just reminding me of the time when we were there. I felt like it changed a bit, like it was the energy came down a bit. It's just saying we've been through many battles together. The battle you're in now is not so obvious, but it's still very real. We've been through this very sort of many times together as souls. So with him and with me there, like we were getting ready to go into a battle in that time and space, like in the Egypt time. But he's just saying in this time and space now where we are, we don't see the battles. They're not obvious. They're hidden battles where we are now. So even though we're finding it very hard, and it doesn't seem as if we should, because there's not that much physical reason for it to be so hard, if you see what I mean. We've got like homes, we've got lives, we've got like food, we've got everything that we could physically need, but still emotionally and spiritually it's very, very hard for us at the moment, because we're aware of the energetic battle that's happening behind the scenes, and it is very real. Not to discount that, to know that we're aware of that because it is happening and it is real, and that we are being pulled in these directions by these unseen energies. And we know this to be true, but sometimes we doubt it as well, and that there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and that we should just not be afraid to ask each other for help and to continue supporting each other, just to know that we're all going through this. And it is a very real thing that's happening, and just to know that it will not last for too much longer, and that we do need to just hold our light and keep centered, and just to trust in ourselves, keep trusting in source, keep connected to source. Don't forget that you've been through this many times, but just to keep meditating, keep finding your center. Don't give up on all of the things that gave you strength. Keep using those tools that you've got, because you still need them. So keep using those tools, because they are helpful within your human time and space to keep you connecting to source, and just to get you through the spiritual warfare that is going on around you at this point in time. It just feels like he just came to remind me of that. Just felt very sad when he came. It just felt really sad. Maybe something sad happened in that lifetime when we were together. I think it got quite dark. I think that's what happened. It got quite dark in those times.
Any trauma? Do you feel that a trauma we need to heal today in that lifetime that you are seeing?
There were physical battles that happened in that time and space that we went through, and we sort of lost each other in that time and space in the physical.
How did the trauma created in that lifetime has been carried forward in this current lifetime? How does it affect you in this lifetime? Are you able to access this information?
I just was hearing doubt. So the doubt has come through from that lifetime. So there's doubt. So doubt in connections to others.
Fast forward, condense the time and reach the moment where the situation, the traumatic situation happened. You will not have to feel anything, but you will be able to be aware, to know what has happened in order to help your healing process when the event has happened.
It's felt like the bad beings, the Ra, they had to leave. They couldn't stay with the human collective any longer. There was some which had turned negative. And there were others that just descended back out. There was a disconnect. They went one way and humanity went the other. It's like we didn't succeed that time where we were supposed to ascend out together. It just wasn't possible. We didn't manage to connect to our higher purpose. So they stayed, but they energetically were behind the veil. So they've stayed. So that's what we can sense. Like we connect to our ancestors and connect to these other aspects of us. They're all kind of there behind this veil. They're sort of still there because there is no time. So when we connect to these beings and we see them, they never really left. We just forgot that they were still connected and still helping us and watching us. It's like our guides, our other aspects, they're all still there helping us and watching and like just sending us positive thoughts and trying to assist us. We always forget that we are not alone.
Never.
We always forget that we're not alone, but there's just so many different layers of assistance. So we have the angelics, but these sort of soul connections from other lifetimes, these are quite important too, just to give us stability, to allow them to support us. So they will remind us of who we were and what we're capable of holding the light and holding that higher perspective. Don't need to be sad that they went, because they didn't go. That's what it is, the message from them.
May I please ask the higher self to fully step in to this session today?
There was these negative entities that were pulling us, these other negative aspects from other realms that are all around, there's a lot of chaotic turbulence within the energetic field as well, which is just pulling in all directions and trying to throw people off their center. That we sensed and we knew that is correct. So it's just you have to be very disciplined and strict with yourself in some respects, just to implement a routine and just to try to stick to that. I think it's important just to re-establish a routine so that this is because then you're feeling more positive emotionally, and that just goes through to spiritually as well. It's just important. The practical routine will just keep you centered spiritually. Yeah, I think the emotional resilience has just been lacking. It's just like, just to remember your strength of character is there. It's not going to be easy. What someone thinks is for their highest good is not always actually for their highest good. Sometimes the difficult things can have positive outcomes. So it's not necessarily going to be smooth sailing, and don't let that throw you off and make you think, I've made the wrong choice here. It may not be easy, but the overall experience will have enough benefits that make the difficulties worth persevering through. It feels like I can't be shown everything that's to happen, but I've just been told that I need to trust each step and just to allow each step to unfold as it does. So I need to trust each stage as it's presented and just allow it to unfold naturally, step by step by step, because I just trust that I am being guided and that where I'm going is the correct place, and that I can't be shown everything all at once, because if I knew the outcome, there would be no point in taking the journey. So you can't know everything in advance. You have to trust the process, trust the journey, because that is the whole purpose of your life here at this time. You have to trust the journey. You have to allow yourself to travel through this journey of life, and to know that you are supported, and just have the faith and the trust in that journey, and to know that we would not guide you if it was not for your highest good. But perhaps for now, it's time to close that chapter of your life and to begin a new one. But don't have fear, because it will all work out well. It will just be effort that is involved.
Should she stay and strengthen these bonds with them, or is it okay to let go? What should she be doing?
They're just all part of the increasing numbers of people that are going to be coming forward. You're going to be getting more and more of these positive connections. So you should be noticing lots more sort of positive people and positive input and sort of associations that are forming, and that's all part of the increase in energy, sort of the rising energy that people are finding more light within themselves. So that is what you're sensing within all of these people now. So it's not that they're unique to this, you will only find them here. She's worried that she won't find her her soul tribe and these light people where she's going, but it will be more like-minded people where she'll be going to.
The vibrational match to the frequency she is on at the moment, and that's what she carries around with her wherever she goes, whatever she does.
So she wants to hold on to all these connections, but there's so much to work through in this lifetime. It's almost like people come and they fulfill like the role of remembrance for that period of time, and then there's so much left to experience, and so many of these more connections to come. It's like they're going to keep coming really fast, and you can't have all of it held very close. It needs to be sort of experience it and then release, experience and then release. And there'll be, these people may drift back in a little from time to time, sort of to touch base again. But if some people choose to go, then they're on a different path as well. It's like we're all on our paths and we're journeying and we're crossing paths with people as we go. But not to feel that it's a negative thing, that they're not like any longer a very major part, because they'll come as a big part until that is experienced, and then it will be released. So it's like you're just coming across one another on your journey, and you're helping each other and you're remembering together, and then you're moving on to the next thing, because there's so much remembrance that is having the opportunity to come back now. So don't see it as a negative thing, that you've done anything wrong or that there's a bad reason for this. It's just a natural, organic unfolding of memories that are returning to you. There's people that have healing abilities that we come across on our path, that all of these people can help you in small ways. You just need to trust that people come at the right time, and to trust people. Don't shut people out. Don't let negative experiences that happen sort of harden your heart, as you've already been aware. So just keep trusting process, keep trusting journey. So that's just an example of someone that is not trusting, for you to see that you don't have to go down that path as well. Sometimes our teams make things difficult if we're not going in the right direction, just to redirect us and push us back along the correct path. So that sometimes is necessary, just to remind you where you wanted to be heading, where you wanted to go. The grid work of Earth is filling in now. So the main grid is sort of reconnected, re-established. The big energy lines I see is sort of all online. It's like these little tiny veins. So it's like the big arteries are there, but it's these little tiny veins, these little tiny, that are forming these grids and these sort of patterns in between, the filling in, sort of the filling in. And as we connect our own energy to these places, these new places, then they're turning on more and more of these little lights. So we're just increasing it in layers. It's increasing in layers. Still building on it. You won't really understand how it's working until you sort of are able to see it from the higher perspective. It is like a pivotal time frame for many of you. So this is why you're going to your destinations now. 2025 is energetically important.
Yeah, I was going to ask what is important about 2025? What do we need to know?
So I guess the launching of higher energies. 2025, it feels like 2025 is like a turning point. It's quite a pivotal time.
It's the beginning.
Sort of a beginning and an ending. So it's a ending of sort of the less positive and the beginning of the more positive. It's like a crossover point. So it's an energetic beginning more. We want you to see it more as an energetic beginning more than an ending, because the beginning is what's important. So the seed point of many new beginnings which are going to be holding this positive vibration for many of you as you embark on this next phase of your existence here on the earth plane at this time. It's going to just allow for all of these seeds of light to blossom. So it's like you're planting these little seeds and they're going to turn into these flowers that will grow. So you're all being guided to where you need to be for this next phase. So it's like you're all planting yourselves in the right places, and you're going to be able to then unfold with this new mission, whatever you've chosen for yourselves. It's always destined, so you knew it in your soul. That's why you felt these callings for this time for quite a while now. You felt this calling in your soul to be there, because that is the story that you wrote for yourself. That was the agreements that you made. That is what your soul wanted. That is what your soul chose to experience. And it's always been fixed. Even though you have free will, you knew that you would be on your highest timeline if you followed that soul's calling, because that is what you designed for yourself, for your experience, to experience the greatest uplift and greatest evolution of your soul here on earth.
Can you please show her what the event will look like for her?
So Bella tried to show me what the new earth transition would be like, but it was quite hard for me to sort of to trust that, because it's quite a different experience. So when they were showing me that me as a light body, as that white energy floating in joy, it's quite hard to probably feel that and to feel that freedom. But that is the whole purpose of this reality that will be bringing into being. So that sort of energetic lightness, the freedom to move. It's about letting go of your preconceived ideas, letting go of all the heaviness, letting go. The more you're letting go, the more you're rising up and able to embrace that experience and that joy and that freedom and that warmth and that loving energy and that oneness with the earth and the plants and the beings around you. It's just like being one with, rather than having the need to sort of debate or to plan or to, it's just being more together as within joy. So it's not so much need for, at the moment we're constantly analysing and thinking and communicating, and it's all quite, those are all quite dense energies actually, and we feel like that's where we will find our solution, but that's how we're making sense of what we're going through at the moment. But the more we allow that just to fall away and to exist within joy and peace, the more we'll connect to that fifth dimensional energies.
Happen like in the next 5 years, 10 years, or further along the path?
I'm hearing 10, but I had to explain because there is no time when you're outside of time. Because people say it's here already, and it sort of is. People say you just need the eyes to see, to be within, and it sort of is, but once you're in it, then this reality is not able to be connected to anyone. So even though it's parallel almost, once you're within one, you're not connected to the other. So you sort of step through. So people are stepping through at different levels, different times, but you disconnect and you reconnect with the other. It's hard to explain.
Is it about how we feel, about our emotions? The higher the vibration of the emotion we are feeling, the more we are connected to it. But it's depending on the belief system we are in, we can't stay in that vibration constantly, because it's like an adjustment progressively as we release the beliefs, the limited beliefs that we are conditioned to be into. The higher vibration, the more we get into it, and it's progressive. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
So it's not just that your perceptions will gradually, your energy will gradually increase, and you will lighten and lighten and lighten. But that's not how you make that jump. That jump is a jump. So that will be a different experience. That'll be a very much an experience in itself. So it won't be that you gradually merge into that. It will be 1 minute you'll be within this, and the next minute you'll go shoom, and you'll be within that. You just still need to trust your journeys, just to remember that we won't always tell you and show you exactly where it is that you're going, but just to trust all the little steps that you're taking. So that's what we wanted to remind you of, that you feel guided to do things and it feels like the right path, and you don't really sometimes always know why. And just to trust that we can't tell you the outcome. We can't tell you because it will vary. There will be sort of changes, but also because you didn't want to know. You didn't come here wanting to know everything before you arrived. It would have been no point in you even being here, and you know that you need to experience it as a learning journey, and the learning journey requires that you don't know the outcome and you don't know the end result, and it takes away a lot of the joy and the spontaneity, and that is like the final bits of time here on earth, the joy and the spontaneity and the unknown. It's the adventure and the story unfolding, which is what you wanted to come and experience. So now that you're aware that it's possible to know the bigger picture and all that is, you feel like maybe you should just be shown how it's going to all end and be, but trust us that you would not want that experience. You would want it to be as it is unfolding now. So sometimes you feel like you're not being shown and you're being sort of having your eyes covered, and that can be frustrating because you feel like you just want to know it all right now, but that's not it's just not what you chose. Not what you chose, any of you. So as you're still part of this journey, then it needs to be a spontaneous journey. So just trust that we are guiding you, and you are here guiding yourself along the path to your highest good. And it's going to be exciting. That's the joy of the journey, is like all part of it, even though it can be a challenge and it can be difficult. Sort of with that then comes the highs as well. So it's like and that is the earth experience is like a wave, and you will be increasing in your energy and experiencing that wave at higher levels, but there still will be the dips and the hardness and the work, and then because that is part of this life experience.